And we saw a surprising result in the final game in the Euros 2024 tournament, where Georgia shocked the whole world by beating Portugal 2-0. It was a surprising result. Nobody could expect that result to happen. But in 3 games in a row, Cristiano Ronaldo has failed to find the back of the net in 3 games in a row. Is he age? Probably age is catching up to him. Probably his team is not playing for him. We are going to be discussing all that in this particular show. Remember, we are still live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. At Vote FM Sports. You can join us live, drop your comments. We are going to be reading all your comments here in the studio. We are also on Facebook at Vote 1043 FM on Facebook, and we are also here on the studio. The numbers to call, we are going to open the phone line at some point in this studio. We will take your calls. Numbers to call is 0706 048 5853. We are going to be opening our phone line at some point in the studio, but remember, okay, we are live on YouTube. Okay guys, this game, it was a surprising result. Let's start with the big one. Portugal versus Georgia. I don't know, nobody was expecting that result. Not me, not anyone. Probably not, so might have a different opinion. So always has a different opinion to me. But it was a 2-0 to Georgia. Now, what is wrong with Portugal? Because you will not tell me that. I think you need to understand what is happening to Portugal, because all the big teams, if you look at all the big teams in this tournament, everybody has underperformed. But now they are losing 2-0. So is it a problem of tactics, or is it a problem of personnel?
Did you go online yesterday? Did you see what's happening on Twitter? You shouldn't have gone to bed at all. You shouldn't have gone to bed. It was all Georgia last night on Twitter. Everybody criticizing Ronaldo. The Messi fan were alive yesterday.
Yes, that's how it works.
Their moment. This is how they breathe. But Ronaldo was angry for being subbed off yesterday in that game. And you see the performance on the pitch. I said this before, but after the game against Hungary, I came back to apologize. Now I'm going to say it again. The Portuguese team don't look as dangerous on paper as they are. They don't look as dangerous on the field as they are on paper, and it's a problem for me, because I hate to see a team who is dangerous, filled with stars. You see them play for their clubs, it's a different atmosphere there, and they come to national team, they can't put their hearts back on the field. Look at what Vicha did yesterday, scoring that goal, putting himself in the right positions to score the goal, and perhaps get on the free kick as well, and get on the score sheet with the penalty as well. It tells you that these players have worked hard, they know where to hurt the Portuguese side, and they kind of sat deep, they dug deep and defended well, but they also came on the break whenever they wanted to, and they hit very fast and quick, and that was where they got the 2 goals from. But Portugal yesterday shot themselves in the foot for trying to play around the midfield. But the Portuguese side don't have the squad to play around the midfield. They don't.
How can you say that the Portuguese side don't have the squad to play around the midfield? I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think if you look at the way they set themselves up with a 5-2-3 formation, that's where they had the most of their problems, because going up against the previous opponents in the group stages, they played a more free-flowing football. They played a 4-2-3-1 formation with a 4-3-3 formation with Palinha and the 2 guys.
That was the last game they played.
John, let me get this formation you're talking about. That's the next question I want to ask you, because the first game they played 3 at the back.
Yes,
John, and they struggled to win talking.
Yes,
they had to rely on own goal and almost final kick of the game, and they scored. He switched formation in the second game. You see how they were playing free-flowing football.
With your eyes closed, like this is disconcerting for me, because why do you move back to the same formation that made you struggle to win your game and abandon what has worked in the previous match? That's not just the bone I have to pick with them. I said it quite earlier on that going forward with this Portugal side, going into the later stages of the competition, I have big question marks over who is playing up front for them in the ability of them to get on the score sheet and score goals. Now, everybody laughed me out of that show here on this show, but we saw it happen yesterday. Now, you look at the side with the formation they played. The formation they played was a no-no, but then you look at the the way they played, how much of the ball is Ronaldo getting, how much service is he getting? And then if you look at the way they also position with the new players brought into the wings now, they were not able to. It didn't work out for them
when
because
I told
they
you they
weren't
wanted to play
creating
from
chances.
midfield, because I know what they wanted to play like. This when you play a 3 at the back, 4 in the middle, and 2 strikers that you know can come back to midfield and it means
yeah, but it's counterproductive. Look at how they considered those goals.
You're seeing 3. I'm telling you, it's just one person up front. Cristiano Ronaldo, Consecao, and
Felix
can come to midfield.
Yes, they are playing
so
their
it's
wingers.
bombarding the midfield, and it didn't work out. If you want to bombard the midfield, put midfielders there that could defend the ball and also create chances. And yesterday there was no Bernardo, there was no Bruno. There was no noise in the position. Now they couldn't create noise enough.
No, so I have a problem with Martinez personally. I have a problem with their coach because for me, he wasted the golden generation of Belgium. I keep saying it on this show. He wasted the whole generation of a Belgian team. Now they are giving him another generation, minus Cristiano Ronaldo. So for me, you don't have information. That means in his mind, he doesn't have a formation that he wants to play. He's playing 4-3-3 here. Tomorrow he's playing 3 at the back.
There's no consistency anywhere.
So do you think that this coach now, Martinez, is the right coach for this club, for this country? Because for me, I don't think so.
I think there's if I say that, they will say, where is this guy driving to? There's this propaganda I'm seeing.
It's not propaganda.
Philosophy theory where in the
Which propaganda?
In the Euro 2024 you have 5 Italian coaches taking on big jobs. So if they maybe, I don't want to say, but you see the way they've played so far, you say they are experimenting with tactics. I don't like the experiment.
That's the thing I'm talking about.
But all the same, you see how he instructs them to play. When he took off Ronaldo, I felt like this man is trying to do the same thing other coaches that had problems with Ronaldo are doing. Take him off when you're losing the game, when you have goal, when you want to score goals, you're taking off the person that will get you the goal. Now, not you are Felix, no, not Consecao. Those people can just run in and trick chances. So those are the players to bring in the 90th minute.
That's the threats you keep up there to unsettle the defenders.
Okay, look, for England, they took out Kane. On this show, we argued about that. You were saying that it's the right choice for him.
If you have a good replacement, you take him off.
You have on that bench. You have Anthony that you can bring
is not taking that Ronaldo.
But on the second side now, who is coming? Is there Goncalo Ramos that cannot find the back of the net?
Come on now, he did that better for
in the World Cup.
And he did better in the World Cup. Scoring a hat-trick in the World Cup wasn't easy. But look at the defense line. When I said this on the show, he said, no, it's not like that. Man, you want to go for somebody. Pepe was not there. It's happened. You see that nobody was.
They now played a DM as the center. We're talking about Danilo Pereira when Pepe is on the bench. Like, I don't understand why.
That's why I told you the tactics doesn't change. It's still a 4-man defense. Now there was no proper left back because Nunes was not starting that game. Now you see that the 2 wing backs can come back and play their normal position while Pereira can go and play in defensive midfield. So it's still 4 at the back flat. But it still doesn't work when you don't have defenders that could keep the ball and play well from the back. Inacio and is not a good combination, and you saw that in the game. So I think going forward, maybe they play this formation now. They play this team because they've qualified. But going forward, you would never see them play this lineup again. Maybe they'll be coming in the 78th minute. Because why you couldn't create? The problem is you have a Bernardo and a Bruno on the bench. And the players you think could create you chances, you're not even creating noise.
I think if you look at it in another way, probably he's trying to give players that have actually played this tournament. They have qualified already. He's playing players that have not actually played at all in this tournament.
Give them an instruction. They play like yesterday. They were playing like as if they are defending. They are playing, next thing they are playing. If you want to defend. If you want to attack. Don't just bombard the midfield and play careless football. It will hurt you in the back. And you saw that the 2 goals was just pure carelessness from midfielders, not even defenders. Because everybody was playing midfield. The defenders were playing the midfield as well. So it was pure carelessness from the midfield. And just 2 passes, 3 passes, because of the net is shaking.
That particular win made Georgia qualify for the knockout stage. Then Portugal finished with 6 points, Turkey finished with 6 points, Georgia with 4 points. They are playing in knockout stages in this competition.
They celebrated like they won the World Cup.
Let's not forget.
This is their first time of qualifying.
Of the 6 teams on that best third position, they came in second. Though the first 3 came in with 4 points, but what a scalp for Georgia. Now, we said this thing a couple of days back where we said some countries are just there, some clubs, however, too, are just there to get a big scalp in the league, and this is a big scalp for Georgia. This is almost as good as winning the Euro Championship for the World Cup, because this is the distance between both teams, both nations, is light and day mostly. Forget about the incredible talent on the pitch. Talking about Richards.
There was a chance. Conseca missed, and immediately he missed that chance. I think that was on the 75th minute. The best started celebrating that they won that game because that was their last chance to bury for Portugal. And after that miss, they dug deep, they defended well, and they made sure they got, like, I don't know how to put it. They just made sure they didn't allow the Portuguese side
to
come back into the game
of qualifying for any knockout stage. You have to celebrate it, even if it's you. If I'm from Georgia, I'll throw a party.
They are well within their rights.
I'll throw a party throughout the night. So let's talk about the other game in the group. It's Czech versus Turkey. If you notice now, they brought in this young boy for Turkey. Just players. Whether that's 16, they are 17, they are 18, it does not matter. This boy is they call him the Turkish Messi. And you could see what he did in this match. He played and they won 2-1 also. So do you think now that Turkey is in the right frame of mind? They are the right team now to go forward in this tournament?
They always look the threats to me, but I keep saying this, you have quality midfielders. If you don't have chance creators, then you have a problem. And Ferguson, I always quote Ferguson anywhere, but people say, this I really quote Ferguson. Ferguson will say, you win games by scoring goals. And you
Everybody wins games by scoring goals.
And you win trophies by defending.
Yes.
It's just what now many coaches have adopted to that philosophy. Mourinho especially, he defends well, then score one goal and he defends the rest of the game. I think that was what Turkey missed in the last game. They couldn't get on the score sheet because they didn't have the chance creators. Now he can play from the flank, he can come into midfield and play from the behind the striker, and you could still create the chances. So you just need that player in your team. And without him in that team last night, the other day, I felt like it was bad for them.
Let's not forget that in this setup now for the game yesterday, one particular placement or positioning that I loved was the fact that Hakan Calhanoglu was moved to play behind the striker.
That's what I want to talk about now.
Because he's a creative. Yes, he's been sitting deep and he should be playing up front where he should be within a shout of destiny. He's a creative, talented, attacking player like.
For Inter Milan, he plays defense.
Irrespective of where he plays,
it's just like telling Partey to go and play behind the striker. Even at AC Milan, he's just telling Partey to go and play behind the stricker while Rice sits deep. It's not going to work. But in the national team, he comes back. You can give him that free roll, let him play like Kante, come back and defend and create chances as well. And
I'm telling you that he's more an attacking player than a defensive player, and they were underutilizing him in that side. Look at the way the game has gone, playing him in that position, playing Adagula alongside him to create those chances, and they are in the goals, getting a win in this match. And rather than keeping him up in the defensive position when you have alternatives to play in those roles.
Okay,
the thing is, we're still going to talk about this group because the match they played, if I talk, they'll say, no, so don't start again. Why is this my man always starting to end up? If you're going to go for a tackle, go for the tackle, make contact. Don't just chase the ball and end up retreating and you now leave a space behind you open. Talking about too far. He did it in the last game. He did it yesterday night again. And you ask yourself, make the contact, take the card, go back and defend. At least if you make the contact, the referee will blow the ball. You give other people the chance to fall back and defend for you. But instead, you're running into, no man's land. And leaving a space, we call it a Catholic space behind you for someone else to run into and get on the score sheet. It's a problem for Czech Republic. They've been having these issues. He's been having these issues defensively in both clubs and country, and they keep playing him 90 minutes.
Oh, well, it's their choice. Okay, remember, guys, we are on Facebook at Vote 1043 FM. Then we are on YouTube. Join us on YouTube, live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. At Vote FM Sports, you can drop your comments. We'll be reading all your comments live here in the studio. We are having comments on YouTube. Aaron Amechi is saying, "Good morning, guys. The Portuguese coach used the wrong formation, and made them to lose." So I think for me, he's experimenting with formations. I don't like coaches experiment. Have your normal formation. You can change. And it can change personnel. Like he's trying to change personnel. It's okay, but I don't think you should play 3-4-3 here. Tomorrow you are playing 4-4-3. Next tomorrow you are playing another formation. I think it doesn't settle with the players for me.
The other thing is when you are working with this starting 11 and you play these formations over time, they understand what you want to do per time. But then when you have to make changes and bring a couple of players, move a couple of players around in that team, they do not execute as well as people who've been playing in that formation, playing with those instructions, when they've not been in the side. So it's a different ball game. You are bringing on different players in different positions, and they are not adept at playing that way for you for the national side. It also affects performances as well.
It does not. These are professionals. The guys that they call them professionals. You play the way your coach wants you to play. You have training sections 2-3 times a week. You play the way is an instruction thing. Let's come to training. Let's play like this. Let's set up like this. Let's do like this. In the first
and
game,
they still come into the pitch and still fumble the ball and make these crazy mistakes.
You won't force the coach. You force the
that's,
players.
that's what I'm saying now.
Okay, yesterday now we're talking about 3 defensive midfielders. But if I'm not talking about this, you want to go back to this Portuguese game. You are playing a Paulina, a João Neves, defensive-minded players too. Then you're playing a what's it called at the back of them. You understand? It's not 4 or let's say it's not 3 defensive-minded players. Then the wing backs are also defensive-minded. Nobody is going on the attack.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but if you look at what they did yesterday, I said he's trying to give other players chances to play, but it's not really a coach's fault. We are still having comments on our YouTube channel, and Emmanuel is saying Georgia qualifying is a surprise to me, but then that's what happened when you assume powerhouses are underperforming. If you look at it, apart from Germany, every other powerhouse is underperforming. France, England. So Emmanuel is agreeing with me, and he said yesterday showed that Portugal only have a solid 11 and average players on the bench. So because he introduced probably almost 8 players, new players minus Cristiano Ronaldo and their goalkeeper, and they couldn't actually play anything throughout that yesterday. It was a sad performance. It was a crazy performance for me. Nobody expected Portugal to be that poor.
Yeah, and you also look at the likes of the players that got starting opportunities, talking about the João Felix. I'm just wondering where the 16, 17, 18-year-old João Felix that we all know and rave about went to. Because in that game...
He died in Atletico Madrid.
It didn't work out for him.
He died in Atletico Madrid. After Atletico Madrid, moving to Chelsea and maybe Barca just ruined his career. And he's trying to renovate them. He's trying to rejuvenate the career. But, man, that 17-year-old João Felix we saw, it's not coming back, man. It's not. Because where he is now, where he's at now, his head is full with family, pressure from the media. And if you cannot handle pressure from the media when you move to England, I don't think you can handle it anywhere in the world. And going back to Spain was just a no-no for me because he could have stayed in England, so dealt with the pressure well, then build his career from there.
So, Nosana, do you think that Portugal can go a long way to win this tournament?
In 2016, we didn't expect them to win it, but they won it. And I think what happened, people say history repeats itself. Man City won the Premier League, Man United won the FA Cup, and something happened in Spain that wasn't supposed to happen, and so on and so forth, and Portugal won the Euro 2016. So I think the same thing is happening again. FA Cup, Premier League. So my
okay, John, do you think that they can?
I will just come back to the point I've been making, which is that they are definitely going to struggle going into the later stages of this competition.
Don't worry, for next matches now you see this guy.
I'll be looking forward to see who they play in the last 16.
No, it's there now. We're going to be talking about it in this show. Let's talk about Group E. Group E, Ukraine versus Belgium 0-0 and Slovakia, Romania 1-1. Interesting about this group is all the team finished with 4 points. I think it happened only once at some point when Spain and their group, everybody finished 4 points and Spain didn't qualify. But this group, everybody finished top 4 with 4 points and only 3 can go. Unfortunately for Ukraine, they were last with 4 points and they left. This particular group is one of the most boring groups I've seen. These last 2 games, everybody was playing for a draw. Even Ukraine was playing for a draw. Until probably they told them that
the results elsewhere were not going
working
their way.
They started trying to introduce
But it was a little
Zinchenko.
too late.
So for Belgium, let's talk about Belgium because Belgium is in quotes one of the powerhouses. But they have not really performed in this game. But they got a 0-0 draw with Ukraine. Now, do you think that Belgium has what it takes to
powerhouse never score goal for the Euro 2016?
But they have the powerhouse.
Powerhouses needs to score goals. Even if you're losing the game, you need to score goals. And Belgium, for me, is not one of those powerhouses because the first game they scored 1 goal, and after that they've not scored. It's been a 0-0 draw all along, and it's a problem. You can't keep expecting players like Lukaku to shine up. In Inter Milan, we had the likes of Lautaro Martinez helping him to drop the first touch.
He has De Bruyne. He has De Bruyne in that team.
See, Lukaku does not play with one winger. He plays as the supporting striker. if you're good as a striker or both of you are supporting strikers, then it's good for both of you to drop deep. One person will have to. And look at the way he played with Lautaro Martinez at Inter Milan. Lautaro Martinez actually made him the highest goal scorer for that season because he's always dropping the ball for him, cooling the ball off for him. At Man United, he was actually drifting to the flanks.
Let's not forget too that when he left Inter Milan and went to Roma, he struggled as well to getting on the goal. So he's, for me, looking at him in that national team side, if not for who he is and the name he carries, he should be dropped and somebody
But
else
nobody
should
else
be
to
starting.
play. Who is going to play?
See.
He's going to play.
We don't know. Striker plenty. Bakayoko dey.
Which Bakayoko?
That's the
Bakayoko
thing. You
dey.
never know till you give these guys a starting chance.
We don't know until we give a starting chance for Liverpool. 2 goals that sank Baka's dream of going to carry the Champions League. So Bakayoko, this player now.
Bakayoko have not really played well for the last 2 years.
I want to call players. I want to call players. Batshuayi.
Bakayoko.
All of them carry
Come on, guys, please.
No, all the players have Baba in their name. I just mentioned. You said give me players. I just mentioned 2 for you. These are workhorses. They could also drop the midfield and create chances for you and still score goals. If Lukaku is not performing, call one of these players in. Is this guy that is playing for? I think it's Brentford. I've forgotten his name. He could still play in that position.
Let's not forget a Jeremy Doku who could be given freedom in that midfield.
We are talking about who could replace Lukaku. Who could replace Lukaku? Not wingers that will just want to dance around players. We're not looking for the next JJ Okocha.
We are still having comments on our YouTube channel. At Nosu, Emmanuel is telling you, he said Belgium got 2 goals in this tournament. Just 2 goals.
And 1 win.
And 1 win, yes. So you have to give it to them. You have to give it. You have to understand. So most times you don't. When Portugal won that Euro 2016, they drew 3 games. In fact,
they were scoring goals.
In 90 minutes, they only won 1 game.
They were scoring goals.
To that final.
They were scoring goals. It doesn't mean if you are drawing the game, score goals so you know you have the potential. Maybe
that's the thing now, because they don't look like they are, looking even within a shout of getting goals at this tournament, because they have not created enough chances and they are not bearing the ones they create as well too.
So you're scoring 1 goal, you try to defend, they equalize, you're trying to come back and score another goal, or you're losing and you're trying to equalize and you get the goal and you relax again. You're playing like the prime Nigeria.
Okay, on our youth, we are still having comments. Emmanuel is still saying it's not about benching Lukaku. Who will come in? All the names you are calling.
Let's not forget they also have an Openda.
Yes, all the names you are calling have no business in the national team, Joe.
Martens.
Do you understand? I understand,
Martens,
but Lukaku is still.
Openda.
Lukaku is still
Bakayoko.
I said Bakayoko. Don't. I said I shouldn't mention
but we are
Bakayoko.
talking about. We are talking about players that can come in and make impact in the side. Since this man
Carrasco can also be there.
Yes.
I just meant I call players where I know for Premier League. I no go Serie A. I no go Bundesliga. There are players in the Bundesliga that could take that position in the Serie A. They're in Spain. So what are you telling me now that Lukaku can't be benched? See, in England, the only person that cannot be benched is Kyle Walker and Jude Bellingham. The rest of the players can be benched. In Belgium, the only player that cannot be benched
is De Bruyne.
Aside from Kevin and Telemans, please. Aside from these 2 players, the rest, from the goalkeeper to the other players, could be benched and bring in another 17-year-old player to take their position, and they'll still play fine.
Okay, Romania has scored, top the group with 4 points. You have to give it to them. Nobody expected them to top this group, but they did top this group. So kudos to Romania and kudos to everyone, every team that qualified for the knockout stage of this competition. So the knockout stage is set, the round of 16. So I'm going to give you the fixtures. Spain versus Georgia. That is on Sunday, 8 p.m. The second game is Germany versus Denmark. Portugal versus Slovenia. France versus Belgium. That's one of the biggest games in this knockout stage. Romania versus Netherlands. Austria versus Turkey. England versus Slovakia. And Switzerland versus Italy. So the knockout stages are set. So let's talk about some of these games in the knockout stages. Let's start with the big one. The biggest one is France versus Belgium. Now, it's because that Belgium finished second. Most time when you finish second, you always likely to going to play a big team. But now, this game, who do you think that will come through? Because both teams have underperformed, John. Both teams have not played well. France have not really played well. I think France has only 1 goal, which was a penalty and an own goal. Then Belgium has only 2 goals out of 3 games.
Yes, so, but let's not forget that the attacking threat from Belgium is not there, whereas France have that in their in their cupboard. So I would think that France would be a stronger opponent coming into that match than Belgium for me.
We are seeing a repeat of World Cup 2018 World Cups.
Forget
The
about
semi-final.
repeat.
So
Just this game now based on merits from this competition.
Merit or no merit, if you look at based on merit, the midfield of Belgium has it because they've not conceded much goals in this tournament.
Have they created goals?
Even if they are not creating goals, they've not conceded
much. The chances
So
they've gotten relative to France.
Is it when this person will miss tackle and Doku will use him as a play stock? Doku have more highlights against him now. You say, oh, he's not supposed to be like that. This game is going to see.
Anyway, you look at it, for me, France has to go into that game as favorites, and they have more chances to create goal scoring opportunities than Belgium. So now, unless you tell me Belgium will come into that game, sit deep and pack the balls like
they're not packing the box. They don't have defenders to pack the box.
But that's because these guys have the players who you are going up against a Kante in midfield. You are going up against a Tchouameni. You are going up against Kylian Mbappe in his prime.
Onana.
Currently, you are going up against different players, different attacking options down the flanks that can hurt you, and a rock solid defense. Okay, you have a Saliba in that back line. You have an Upamecano in that back line as well. You have a credible team ready for you, and they are raring and ready to go.
But they are underperforming. That's the problem.
Be that as it may, going up against Belgium, I give them that tag as favorites to come out of this game with 3 points.
It's not about mentioning. It's not 3 points. It's not group stage. Look at it now. Look at it. You've mentioned all the star players that wouldn't get on the score sheet. Saliba has been making mistakes. If not,
just one mistake.
Not be one. It's not one.
If
not for Kante's comeback to rescue.
Apart from that mistake.
Aside from that, during the league season, Gabriel was.
We are talking about league season. We are talking about Euros.
Upamecano has covered for him in different occasions, but we're not seeing that. Is Saliba. It won't trend in the media. If it was maybe Maguire now, it would be a headline. Upamecano has been covering for him so far this competition. Now you look at the Belgium side, they've not considered much goals. They've created more chances, but they've not buried those chances. That's the only problem they have. Who is going to bury the chances? Aside from that, conceding goals, no, they've not considered much. They are creating chances. They have in this tournament so far, they have more chances created than France. But who buries those chances, we don't know. And it's not just chances coming from Kelvin. You have players that could create chances in the France side who could create chances for them. Aside Griezmann, who else?
But they are still a complete team.
Who else can create chances?
Apart from De Bruyne, who creates that? Okay, Trossard is there. Oh,
Trossard, there's a Telemans.
For example, this stuff you're talking about, now let me just call your attention back to a key thing. The main thing is not creating chances. The main thing is burying chances. If you look. Yes, now
this
because look at you have a game we saw a couple of days back where one team had 10 shots off target. We are not talking about blocked shots now. 10 off target, 4 blocked, only 2 on target, and both of them they didn't get any goal. And you have a team that's just gotten 5 shots on target, scored 2 goals, and then 2 block chances. So it's not about the flurry of chances you create, it's about the ability to convert them into goals.
In big games, we'll see them convert those chances. But for now,
big games,
big games, we'll see them convert those chances.
Wow.
They are players for big games, and I think this is where the tournament starts, not the group stage. The group stages is over. This is where the main tournament starts. And look at it now. I have to say this. I don't know why you keep cutting me. This debate of creating chances and scoring goals, which one is harder? There was a debate between Thierry Henry and Cesc Fabregas.
Which one is harder or which one is more important?
Which one is harder, to bury the chance or to create the chance?
No, I think to create the chance is more hard for me. To creating chance is not, it's because you can score from anywhere.
You can score from anywhere if you have the right positioning.
Yeah, if you can even score from halfway line, but you cannot create. For me, it's harder to create chances.
Which is why it's more tougher, because you create these chances and then you let them go begging. So this is a conundrum in that Belgium side that needs to be fixed fast. And my solution to this is Openda sitting on that bench should be starting for the national team. And then you relegate this man to the bench, Lukaku or whatever his name is.
John.
That's yet to be seen.
Okay, we're going to be discussing other games when we come back from this short break. Remember, guys, we are still live here at Vote FM Sports. At Vote FM, we are live on YouTube too. At Vote FM Sports, you can join us. Drop your comments. We'll be reading here live in the studio. When we come back, we'll open the phone line so we can get calls to hear our fans and listeners what their opinions are about all these games to be played. We'll go on a short break, and we will come back. We'll continue.
Stay plugged into the flow. Follow Volt FM on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Let's vibe together.
Volt 104.3 FM.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. We've been talking about Euros 2024. It's been amazing in this studio. My guys have been fighting. France versus Belgium. Everybody is trying to pick their own team and who is going to win. But I feel personally that France has the edge over Belgium because France has a complete team from their goalkeeper to their striker, and they have Kylian Mbappe on that team. So remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can join us live, or after the show, you can go and watch what we did in the studio. We have an amazing content on our YouTube channels. You can go there, like, share, and you see all our comments. So we're going to read some of the comments before we move to the next game. Chukwuemeka Nneji is saying, so far so good. This tournament has been below par in terms of so-called big teams. The big teams have not really played well. If you look at, apart from Germany, I don't think that any big team have actually played well.
But let's not forget that coming into this competition, nobody expected anything from Germany, and here we are.
Yeah, so
except for Spain.
Okay, Welt is saying in this tournament there is no big team. Every team are performing as normal average team. That's this for me. This tournament has been below par. I wasn't even expecting this below performances. Chukwuemeka is saying, with all the chances you created at Belgium, if you don't score goals, there is nothing for you.
Thank you.
Then Emmanuel Okitipi is saying, with all the chances, how many goals have they gotten? He's talking about people creating chances and people scoring. Emmanuel is saying too, the tournament is below par because the season just ended. These guys are tired. Yeah, you could talk about it, but if you compare other tournaments that are played, it's still after the season.
No. I think this one started earlier. This one started earlier because there's still the Olympics after.
No, they are not going to be playing. Most of them are not going to play in the Olympics.
Let's not also forget that another factor that nobody is talking about is the depth or lack of star name players in these countrysides. You look at a country like Croatia, you used to have a Davosuka coming in who can come in, score bags of goals for the side. You have Mandzukic, you have other players, but you know a class of players, elite strikers in Europe have retired and moved on, and we are feeling the impact in this competition. So it's time for the younger boys to.
No. So this is for you. Emmanuel is saying you keep recalling just one mistake from Saliba.
I'm not calling one mistake. I'm saying he's covering for other people cover for him as well. Other players cover for him as well. There's another one. Continue.
Stop defending something.
Continue.
Calm down first. Let me finish. You say you keep recalling just one mistake from Saliba.
Just one.
Wait now. In how many matches is asking? Saliba is there as a major name. So for me, I've seen all the France games. Even in Arsenal, at Arsenal, how many mistakes did he make leading to a goal?
The Rolls Royce.
So I don't know why you keep mentioning Saliba. You don't like Saliba. You have something against Saliba. I don't understand you with Saliba. So let's give it your prediction. France versus Belgium. Who wins? Yeah, John.
It's a tough one, but I back France any day, anytime.
No, so scoreline. It's the who wins scoreline. You back France any day, anytime.
2-0.
2-0. You get mine. We'll just say France go win 2-1.
2-1. Okay, let's talk about our brothers. Our brothers, England versus Slovakia. Now, I know everybody will say England should walk away from this game, but to win this game. But if you look at England, they have not really performed well. If apart from the big teams, they are the people that the least performed team out of the big team. Spain has performed quite well. Even France, though they are not scoring, but you could see that they are playing well. Germany is playing well. Other teams, but England, they are not even playing well. They are not scoring. They are not playing well. So, but they are in knockout stages now. If you make one mistake, you are out. There are no second chances. So, do you think they can win? No, so they can win this Slovakia.
When I was saying this the other day. They said I'm just having support for Kobe Mino. Now we went back to the stats after that game. I didn't. Maybe that night I just went to bed. It was later in the afternoon the next day. I was saying, let me go through the stats of this game. Gallagher played 90 minutes, all energy and no brains.
So Gallagher was taken away.
No, so he played
for 5 minutes.
He played 45 minutes of the game. Tackles went 4. He didn't win any of them. He just energy running around the place. But when Kobe came in, he played the next 45 minutes in his place. 100% of the tackles he went for. Ball passes completed was 98 as opposed to Gallagher's 76. Now, these stats, I started looking at this. I said, why is this guy now on the bench? He played just 45 minutes. You played the first 45 minutes of the game. You didn't get on the score sheet. You didn't get chances created. You didn't win tackles. And you're supposed to be there to win tackles. Yet you didn't win tackles. You didn't make interceptions. Now somebody is playing the second 45 minutes. He's winning tackles. He's winning ball possessions. He's passing accurately. He's composed. He's creating chances as well. Why not give this guy a chance? We said experiment with tactics. This was the last game. He experimented with everybody. He was looking for who to play alongside Rice in that defensive midfield. And you see that this is the perfect blend. Now, we said the team after what happened with what's it called? Trent. After that game, they were not missing Trent. That Trent was actually not doing anything bad. But after that Kobe came in, after Kobe came in, you saw that they were missing everything good in the midfield. Now, Rice was given that freedom to roam, pass along. But my problem was now when they took off Saka, instead of taking off Jude and perhaps Foden, they took off Saka. You could bring in Anthony and Bowen.
You love Anthony.
No, and you also love Bowen.
You could bring in those two players for these players, but Palmer for that position, they kind of have like-for-like style. But these two other players don't have like-for-like. They play different football. You want to experiment with tactics, bring in somebody that can bring something different to the team. And you saw in the second half of that game, after bringing in Kobe Mino, something different came in midfield. Now, I was looking for something different up front, and I think that's what they're going to do today. The second half of the last game is what they will practice or perhaps what they will prepare for in these coming games. Look for something different in attack. Maybe you start the normal attackers you want to start with. The Saka, Foden. Foden is off. Sorry to say that. Foden went to sort out some family issues. So I think he should be back on Sunday.
Yes.
But until then, we don't know who they're going to play in that position. Maybe this is the time for Anthony Gordon to start, or perhaps Jude might be moving to the left or to the left wing forward, and Palmer will play in that position. Then you have Rice and Kobe Mino in midfield.
You have been campaigning for this young boy. I like the way you campaign. Remember, guys, you can join the conversation with us in this studio. The numbers to call is 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. Call us here and give us your contribution about this England versus Slovakia game. So, John, I want to ask you now. Foden is not around. He went home because I think his wife gave birth, so he went back to England to sort out his family issue. Who do you think should be playing from that left side of the attack? Because now Saka probably might start from the left.
From the right. Saka has the right. Nobody can.
Sorry. Saka has to start from the right. Then
no problem.
I'm talking about who starts
on the left.
It's not that John. Who do you think should start?
That for me,
you know. He has been campaigning for
Anthony Gordon, of course.
He has been campaigning. So, who do you think should start?
For me, it's a simple thing. You play a 4-4-2 formation, play 2 strikers up front, and you drop Bellingham into the center and play Palmer on that left, or you play Gordon on the left.
Just hold your thought. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
John from Motiba.
John from Motiba. Please, what's your contribution?
It's a state we're winning. England is going to mess them up this season.
England is going to mess them up. Thank you. What do you think about France versus Belgium?
France are the better side.
France are the better side.
Yes, because if you look at it from reality point of view, you will see that Belgium, they are just creating chances without scoring. And that is dangerous in the game of football. So I see France having a complete squad that can go and do the damage.
Okay.
Remember, at this stage, that's when the real game is starting. So you don't underrate a team like France the likes of Mbappe and co. So they can always go there and do the damage. So I don't see Belgium challenging them in any aspect of the pitch.
Okay, thank you for your contribution.
All right, thank you.
So he's giving it to France and England. He's giving Okitibi, and in our YouTube channel is saying France to win. He's saying France to so they are giving it to France to win. You are giving so John, you are saying something about playing from that left side of the midfield, of the attack.
Yes, playing from the left side of attack, you have an Ebere Chiesi who can play. You have what's his name now?
Also disagrees.
You have
He
Anthony
can't play
Gordon
well from that position.
He
just
disagrees with you.
You have these are two players, Gordon, Ebere Chiesi, that can play in that position. You also have a Jude Bellingham that can be deployed down to the flanks. You also have a Cole Palmer too, who is young, who can play off that position. It's just a game of who plays where and who brings out the best in that position.
No, so if you look at Real Madrid when they play, when they play a 4-4-2, most times, sometimes Jude moves to the left side of the midfield. So do you think that it can work for England? Probably they change the formation. How John is saying that they should change formation.
You can't change formation with this kind of team. With this group of players, you can't change formation unless you be playing a single defensive midfielder in Kobe Mainoo. Then Jude Bellingham, everybody will come. It's not a diamond. If you're going to play in a diamond, then fine. Where you have Kobe, Rice, Palmer, and Ebere Chukwueze. These players can only play from the middle. None of them can play from the flanks better. You saw what happened when they put Palmer in the flanks in the last game. He had to start drifting into the middle as well, just to create those chances. He had to leave that flank.
That's his natural role too, to play in the center.
Now, in this game, you don't need to drift in. You need to be there to making the crosses. If you're going to be drifting in, it means you have to be solid at the back. Your defensive midfielder will have to sit deep and not come out to create chances as well with them. So, and in this game, you need somebody that could go on to join the defense line, which means you'll be seeing on paper 4-2-3-1, and on the pitch, what you'll be seeing is a 3-man flat.
You know, now the knockout stage is where the real game starts, because once you make one mistake, you're out. You're out. So there's no time to practice or time to do all these experiments. So let's talk about the Spanish game, the Spain versus Georgia. Both of them they are coming from this group in form. They are both teams that are in form. Now, who do you think will win that game, John? Because Spain is one of the favorites. Obviously, they are always one of the favorites, but Georgia could be a surprise in this tournament. So do you think Georgia has what it takes to match Spain in this?
I don't think so. I think Spain will win that match comfortably. And so definitely we are going to expect them to put on a performance, talking about Georgia. But this is a Spanish side that is well.
So is a run through or a run over? Because we're not talking about walkovers now. So you mean saying we run throughout them? It's not possible now. Look at the way they talents.
They have the potential.
Look at the way they played against the Portuguese side yesterday. You saw the character on the field. You saw
if they play the same way,
then you know Spain will have something to fight for. It's now Spain coming into that game to think they could get a result, not them themselves, because they themselves.
I don't think that's happening.
Until that game, because it's on Sunday evening, and you see that these people have the power.
For me, you talk about these people have the power. I'm only seeing Kvicha in that lineup.
Who scored the other goal?
I'm only seeing Kvicha. That's the only person that can take those chances, that can make those deadly run-ins into the 18 box and upset the defenders. So if they mark that man out, I'm not seeing where the goals are coming from.
So what's your prediction, John?
Straight 2-1.
Straight 2-1. You say comfortably. Now it's 2-1.
It's still a comfortable win.
No, 2-1 is not a comfortable win.
It's still a
comfortable win. Is 3-0. 2-0.
So what's your own prediction?
1-0 for Spain.
1-0 for
but
Spain.
We have to see a character. We have to see character from the Georgian side.
They need to fight.
Even with the character, it's 1-0
on our YouTube, we are still having comments on our YouTube channel. Okitibi is saying Spain will win comfortably. So let's talk about Germany. Germany versus Denmark. Denmark, that's the host nation. Germany is the host nation. They are the team that they have not lost a game throughout the group stage. They have played well in 3 games. For me, they are now the favorite, because if you look at the way they play, bringing back Donny Cruz and other players made this team. They are now better team. So they are playing Denmark. Denmark is another good team. They fought England. They got a draw from playing England. They qualified from this group fairly. So do you think that Germany has what it takes to go ahead to win this game and win this tournament, John?
Yeah.
I think so. Today is Thursday, and that's on Saturday night. So. And with the crop of players the Denmark side have fielded in, you know they could do damage to the German side.
No, so do you think that this German team? We all saw the game.
We
You
are
know that.
seeing the game.
Remember,
You know
Denmark
they struggle to
defense.
score goals. Yes,
Yes.
we are
See.
seeing that.
One game.
Not one game. They've been struggling to score goals.
Just one game, and they have the players to score and win this match against
Same thing
Denmark.
with Belgium. They have the players to score and win games, but they're not scoring goals.
But Germany are, and they are winning games. So what are you saying about that?
The same thing with Denmark. They're also scoring goals. They're creating chances as well.
How many goals have they scored in this competition,
Two.
please?
2.
People have started this your fight.
2. Denmark will score goals against Germany, and they might be looking
disagree.
to come out in that group.
They are
They
in for a whooping. Just put it on record. They are in for a whooping on that match.
Oh wow! So what's your prediction? Germany versus Denmark. Just
3-0.
Wow! Wow!
You know, when he said it
Also,
against Scotland, I had to agree with him at some point, but Denmark to win 1-0.
But
Denmark
it
to
came
win
through.
1-0.
Denmark won. Just one goal and the game is over.
because they defend well.
They defend well.
If they score one,
If
Ah,
there's,
it's
if there's
over.
anybody that can break any defense any day, anytime,
Tony,
we have
Tony.
them in the German side.
you can't come with Salah now, because if you dribble too much, Hillberg is there for you. He will just lift you up.
Musiala is there, the threat is there, so we have a
The only
Leroy
threat you're
Sané
seeing
in
there
that
is
side.
the only threat you're seeing there for now is Tony, because he could make a pass that could break defensive chains.
Ju-
You say if you dey in bondage, just call Tony. In pass go break your chain.
So the other knockout stage, Portugal versus Slovenia. Your prediction for
Share your
for
prediction,
Portugal.
please.
Your prediction, John,
It's going to be a tough one for Portugal.
because the way they played the last
Yes,
two games.
yes, it's going to be a tough one, and they need to go back to the basics. They need to go back to the formation that has worked for them and giving them a win. They need to start Bernardo Silva. How can you bench Bernardo Silva, for crying out loud?
I think they are
How can
trying
you
to-
bench Bruno Fernandes?
I think they are just trying to give other players game time, which is fair. So what's your prediction for that game? Portugal versus Slovenia.
Okay, consequent on them playing the same formation and starting these key players, I see them winning 2-1.
Nonso, what's your prediction?
They will run riots. They will run riot on Slovenia. This is where the game starts, and you see the best of every other person. Rafael Leao, Joao Felix in the next coming
Where
games.
has Leao been?
He's been creating chances. He's been in the team. So I think it's a 4-0 win for them.
So the next game is
Turkey
Austria
against
versus,
Austria.
what's your
It's
prediction?
Austria all the way. Raf Ragnick, the game man. You
What's
go
your
win.
prediction?
Turkey,
You are giving it to Turkey. Romania, Netherlands. What's your prediction?
Netherlands,
Netherlands. What's your prediction? What's the score?
2-0,
2-0 for.
Netherlands.
I agree with that.
Ah,
I don't get straight to fight again.
yeah, I agree with him.
I just have to agree with him, man, because I don't see anything Romania could put in that game that is different from what they've done in the group stage. Defend, score one goal, defend again, and get to win, and perhaps play 0-0 draw, or perhaps stay 1-1 draw. They've been playing that since the beginning of this tournament, so it's not something you should expect them to win against the Netherlands.
So let's talk a little bit about Italy and Switzerland, because they are two big teams. So before we get your prediction, what do you think that will happen in this game? Do you think that Italy will run away because they are the defending
That's
champions?
the talking point of the knockout stage.
Yeah, that's
this match now, Switzerland and
But
Italy. So I
They
think
are
on
the defending
Saturday,
champions. So
on Saturday 5 p.m. we'll be seeing a different side of the Italian side, a different Italian team come out to play football. You see them putting up the Napoli effect, what Napoli did before winning the Scudetto the last time. I think that was what the Italian side will do this time around. Try to get players on the ball. Try to get players. You'll be seeing a different type of Federico Chiesa, who would come in and shun defenders, run past defenders, and you expect them to score. Let's also remember that Switzerland have players to create chances, to run behind defenders, to score goals, to bury chances. So Brie might be starting in those games. We'll be seeing Brie and Bolo start, and Xhaka as well. Shaqiri and Xhaka. Xhaka is also starting. So you have chance creators everywhere in both teams, but we have to look out for the best team. And for that game, I think as the highlight of the weekend, it's going to be tough to call a winner.
It could well be a game of the best defense at the end of the day, because you have so many.
both of them defend well.
Yes.
So do you think what's your scoreline? What's your prediction for that game? Do you think? Just give me a straight prediction.
Italy edging it out 2-1.
Italy edging now. They are the defending champions.
They're going into penalties, straight up penalties.
You're not even talking about penalties. It's possible we can go into penalties in this tournament. It's very, very possible.
This is the only match I'm seeing going into penalties because of the potential the both teams have. And the Belgium game as well, maybe. But this one is going into penalties straight up.
Okay, let's move on to Copa America. We'll be giving you the result of Copa America that is on to, but they play midnight. 11 p.m. and 2 p.m. in the night. Ecuador winning Jamaica 3-1. 2 a.m. in the morning, Venezuela winning Mexico. It was a surprising result. Nobody expected. If you look at some of these games in the Copa America, what they do there is they just fight. I don't even. I think sometimes the referee even forgets he has a yellow card in his pocket or forgets his whistle. They keep fighting. I don't even understand what is happening there. But overall, how can you rate this Copa America? Do you think it's a good tournament, or do you think it's a good tournament? Because today Panama and USA are playing.
You've seen what Muller said about the World Cups when he responded to Kylian Mbappe's comment. He said, "You've not played in the atmosphere in South America."
It's crazy there.
That's why he had to come out and say, "No, you just played the World Cups. 2018 was hosted by maybe some France, I think. Then the next World Cups and you win it, and Saudi, you're still playing in around Europe. If you've gone to South America to play World Cup games, you would know that the World Cup is very much tough because the atmosphere is against you at all times."
Okay, let's get your prediction of Panama versus USA. They play 11 p.m. today. Panama versus USA.
It's a no-brainer, USA.
USA wins.
Yes.
1-0, the 1-0 team now.
I've noticed that all the tournaments 1-0, 2-1,
It's
1-0,
only these
2-1.
other bigger guys that you see.
Even the bigger guys, Brazil played a 0-0 draw.
Uruguay.
Uruguay, how many goals? Okay, 2-1.
Then Uruguay is playing Bolivia morning. So let's get your prediction for that too.
Uruguay to win now. Bavade and the Pelistri.
Ugarte, please.
And Ugarte as well. And talking about Ugarte, Man United are looking to bring him in as one of the midfielders.
Is there any player out there that Man United?
No, this one is certain. They've sent a bid. You know, when they send a bid, I'll confirm they sent a bid. It's not about rumors. Man United is linked to more.
Every player in
Arsenal full 11. Arsenal full 11. Man City full 11. Real Madrid full 11. Man United are linked to all of them. But when they submit a bid, you confirm they submitted a bid.
Okay, you got to win how many?
2-1. 2-1 or 2-0.
Same thing.
Okay, guys. Remember, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. Our YouTube channel is at Volt FM Sports. You can join the conversation every day from Mondays through Saturdays. You can join, drop your comments. We're going the comments, the predictions our fans are making on our comments. Okay, TB is saying Spain will win comfortably. Germany goes through. Slovenia will win. That is a surprising one. Austria to win and Netherlands to win. Thank you for all your comments on our YouTube channel. Thank you. We have lovely content on our YouTube channel. You can go there and watch some of the games we previewed it. You can go there and see our preview. What you guys think about some of these games personally? Please share and subscribe and follow us throughout this journey in this Euros 2024. We are going to give you amazing things. We hope that the knockout stage will give us fire. But for me, personally, this group stages has been dull. Apart from the first game in Germany.
It started with a bang though.
So that's everybody was thinking. The first games started with a bang. First round of games was 4-1, 3-1. We are seeing a whole lot of things, but they entered the second game and it became tough. So we are hoping that this knockout stage will give us a fantastic performance. So this is me in the studio. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you, my guys, Nosu and John.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Thank
so we'll see you guys tomorrow, same times. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. we'll be here to give you all that is happening in world of transfers. Tomorrow we will be talking about transfer. Every club in England, the top clubs in England, will give you transfer gist, who is going, the rumors that who is coming, the coaches that have made the move. We are going to give you all the gist. My name is Godwin, and with me in this studio. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.